losing my mind because I have never been involved in such collusion. We are dethroning Killian. I feel the most adrenaline I have ever felt during Survivor, and I also feel gross. I feel terrible. We keep having meetings of the Chartreuse team, and everybody's like in love and trust with their teammates, and I just feel slimy, but that's the game.
Basically, the Robbed Goddesses, Robbie, Jaden, and I have been trying to get a big attack against Killian, which I didn't play with Killian last time, but the way people talk about Killian, you would think they just are a murderer, a horrifying player. That's the tea. I'm not going to spill anything more because we're just going to see how it plays out. So hashtag Team Parker, hashtag Team Robbed Goddesses, hashtag Team something.
Okay. At this point in the game, there's a lot of conflicting alliances. So I have people on one side telling me to vote Sam off. I have my team who wants to vote Jaden off, and then I have Sam and Jaden trying to tell me to vote Kenter off. And honestly, that's cool. Like, imagine you were raised by polyamorous parents, and all three of them are getting a divorce, and that's what it feels like. So I'm excited.
What a whirlwind it has been in the world of Zoom Survivor All-Stars. Right now, I believe that assuming Killian doesn't win immunity, he'll be going home tonight. However, if Killian does win immunity tonight, I very well might be going home. I'm not sure how much I trust everybody in my alliance right now. I'm just concerned that they might not be willing to put their necks out on the line to save me if Killian does win immunity. But that's just a 1 in 11 chance that happens. So here's praying that doesn't.
I'm ready to just dive in. There's a lot of anticipation because we're getting to the point in the game where it's getting harder and harder to pick individuals off. It's giving Game of Thrones, but I'm feeling pretty okay. Maybe next week I'll start to actually thoroughly worry. But this week I am vibing and trying to keep it that way.
I am nervous about today for sure. I've heard some concerning rumors that I might have a target on my back, but you can bet your sweet ass I'm bringing my A game tonight because I'm not going to go down without a fight, and I'm not going down this week.
All right, we're going to get to our very first immunity challenge for the merge. This is our very first challenge competed for individual immunity. Since this is Survivor All-Stars, I thought it only fitting that we have a challenge that rewards the players who know Survivor, the TV show, the best. I am going to, I made a quiz, 10 questions that all have to do with things that have happened throughout the seasons of Survivor, the TV show. We're going to see who knows what. Every question is going to be A, B, C, or D multiple choice. You are going to privately message me your answers on Zoom. And while I'm reading the questions, I will need to have everybody's hands visible so I know you're not Googling. And then I will say, A, B, C, or D. I'll repeat the question even, and then I'll give you a few seconds to type in A, B, C, or D and send, and then hands back up. Question number 1. What number season of Survivor is going to air this September? Is it A, Killian? Is it A, 27, B, 39, C, 41, or D, 48? Again, that's A, 27, B, 39, C, 41, or D, 48. Jessica gets a point. Robbie gets a point. Parker gets a point. Jaden gets a point. Kenter gets a point. The answer was C, season 41. And if
Killian gets a point.
Thank you. I was just about to say, where are you at? But if I get it wrong at any point, just speak up.
Way to speak truth to power, Killian.
Thank you. Setting an example for us all. All right, question number 2. Is everybody ready? Hands up. Thank you. Fire represents your A, life, B, power, C, strength, D, soul. Again, Fire represents your A, life, B, power, C, strength, D, soul. Everybody enters in. Lena gets a point. Robbie gets a point. Killian gets a point. Yael gets a point. Sam gets a point. Jaden gets a point. Biba gets a point. Kenter gets a point. Jessica gets a point. That's it. Storm, Parker were wrong. I believe that's it. And Killian. Fire represents your life. A. No,
Was
Killian,
correct.
you're right. And I got it. And I got you. You're good.
Am I being gaslit? Girlboss, Gatekept?
Nope. Question number 3. This notorious survivor villain made it to the end twice in a row, but never won. Is it A, Russell, B, Chrissy, C, Tony, or D, Natalie? Again, it's A, Russell, B, Chrissy, C, Tony, or D, Natalie. Answers in, please. All righty, question number 3. Lena gets a point. Kenter gets a point. Robbie gets a point. Storm gets a point. Jaden gets a point. Jessica gets a point. Killian gets a point. Correct answer was A. Russell.
Oh no! I
Sorry, Biba.
only if I knew it was A or B. Damn it! Like, I don't know which one.
Chrissy was another great villain. All right. Right now we got a pretty tight race between Jessica, Robbie, Killian, Kenter, and Jaden. Question number 4. Where is Boston Rob actually from? Is it A, New Jersey, B, LA, C, New York City, or D, he's from Boston? Jaden gets a point. Robbie gets a point. Kenter gets a point. And that is it. He's from Boston. Boston Rob is from Boston.
Good question.
That was a good misdirect.
Thank you. Thank you.
I really wanted him to be from LA.
Number 5. This former winner played a perfect game and also made one of the dumbest moves in Survivor history. Is it A, Michelle, B, JT, C, Chris, or D, Danny? All right, Lena gets a point. Jaden gets a point, up to 5. Parker gets a point, up to 2. Killian gets a point, up to 4. Robbie gets a point, up to 5. Sam gets a point. Jessica gets a point. Kenter gets a point. The answer was B, JT. Right now, we're tied with Jaden, Kenter, and Robbie. Maybe they'll go all the way and we'll have 3 immunity winners.
Damn.
Question number 6. On episode 5 of this season, an earthquake erupted in the middle of a player's confessional. Was that A, season 9, B, season 10, C, season 11, or D, season 12? Sam gets a point. Jaden gets a point. That's it. Season 9, Vanuatu.
Fuck, I was gonna guess that. Oh.
All right. Number 7. In what season was the first and so far only tie vote for a winner? A, 6, B, 16, C, 26, or D, 36? 6, 16, 26, or 36? Everybody get your answers in, please. Kenter gets a point. Robbie gets a point. Jaden gets a point. Still in the lead. Sam gets a point. Lena gets a point. The answer was D, 36, season 36. Number 8. In Survivor lingo, what color is associated with players who hardly get any screen time during the season when it's televised? A, red, B, purple, C, maroon, or D, blue? All right. Kenter gets a point. Parker gets a point. Killian gets a point. Jaden gets a point. That is it. Purple was the answer. B.
Oh,
Why is it
I
not
was doing
maroon?
B every time. And
They
then
could
I
get
always-
marooned.
Sorry. Right now, Yael, Storm, and Biba are all tied at 1 point. Jaden, you have
Gang.
Jaden has 8 points. In the lead, right behind is Kenter at 7, and then Robbie at 6. Question 9. In Survivor Season 20, contestants Danielle and Amanda famously had a big fight over who found a clue first during a movie reward. What movie were they supposed to be watching? Was it A, Treasure Island, B, Jack and Jill, C, Gulliver's Travels, or D, Pirates of the Caribbean 2? Killian gets a point. Jaden gets a point. Jessica gets a point. Biba gets a point. Lena gets a point. And that's it. The answer was A, Treasure Island, which means no matter what, Jaden, you have won immunity. Jaden, just for shits and giggles, you want to answer this last one out loud? I'm going to force you, actually.
I'd love to.
Great. Question number 10. This Survivor player coined the term, "I didn't come here to make friends." Was
Wait,
it...
don't. Can he answer it without the multiple choice?
Do you know it without the multiple choice?
I don't. No.
Wow.
I would guess Russell, but I'm not sure.
It ain't Russell.
I would say Sandra Diaz Twine.
No, does anybody know? Nobody knows. It was Kelly Wigglesworth from season 1.
Really? That's a good question.
Literally coined the term, "I didn't come here to make friends." One of the most iconic things you can say ever about anything, I think. All righty. Congratulations, Jaden. You have won the merge immunity. How do you feel?
Feel amazing.
I'm sure.
All of the hours I've spent watching the show paid off finally. Oh my God, I'm ecstatic. I'm so thrilled. I'm over the moon. All should be good for our plan to continue. I think Killian's going home.
The little like sadist in me is like excited to see a little blind side happen if it works. In terms of the whole 6 of us that are working together right now to get Killian out, like we need Jaden to be safe. Just makes life so much easier that Killian doesn't have an immunity and that Jaden does. It's just 2 amazing things. And I'm excited for things to get a little crazy. And that's it. Hashtag Team Parker.
So, as luck would have it, the one person we're unified against trying to send home wins the first challenge. I mentioned the 3 divorcing parents. Imagine one of those parents got custody and the other 2 parents are like equally as pissed as they were before. That's where we are right now.
I have, really dug myself from the ground up. I came into this game only knowing Lena. Lena is my ride or die girl here, obviously. But I have now created so many different alliances, I cannot even keep them straight. I also have been getting closer and closer to Kenter, not just because I like playing with him, but I also think he's really cute. But as much as this is a strategic move, it's also an emotional move. And my emotions got in the way this week because I was FaceTiming with Kenter and I accidentally told him that I had an idol. He gave me a little smirk and he said, "You have an idol?" And I crumbled and said yes. So I hope that doesn't come back to bite me in the ass. If he, Parker, and Lena now know about my idol.
Well, this is going to be a pretty big blindside. So I am very excited to see it go down.
So it turns out there's a very complicated dynamic going on. Biba, Kenter, and my tribe have teamed up with Chartreuse. And as it turns out, most of the Rebeccas want to turn on Sam, or at least feel threatened enough to turn on Sam. So I am honestly a little confused.
Everything is really weird because last week I heard that everyone was voting for me and not Kenter. So I'm a little bit scared they're coming for me. I don't have an idol, so I can't do anything if they decide to come for me last second. I'm hoping that my alliances are strong enough that they wouldn't vote for me yet.
Killian, I love you. When you see this, I love you. You've been a great ally. You, of all people, will respect the television that will come out of this. So Lena and I have been double agents only recently, but pretty thoroughly.
That threw me for a loop. I have never in my life been told, like, here's a pop quiz that I was so uniquely unqualified for. I felt disrespected. The T, I think, is that I'm pretty sure Sam's going home. We'll see how it shakes out.
I think I'm going home because it was, I heard my name going around and Kenter's name, Jaden's name, and we're going to see if I can stay alive. But if not, then I get to pick the jury color. And honestly, I don't think there's a sweeter prize than that.
Welcome to your very first tribal council. Now that this is an individual game, Jaden, congratulations on winning immunity. Jaden, how does this tribal feel? Is it any different than the previous tribals now that this is an individual game?
Yeah, this is super different. I've actually only been to one tribal up until now, so this is very different from the first time I played when I went to almost every tribal. Not going to tribal has its benefits. Obviously, you can't get voted out, but you also don't have as many opportunities to build trust with people. So very thankful that I'm safe tonight.
For sure. Killian, you seem to have a reaction when Jaden was like, I've only been to one tribal, and you being on Team Chartreuse that went to many heartbreaking tribals. What does it feel like when somebody talks about having a pre-merge experience that was easier than yours?
Shitty.
Does that translate into your strategy into the game? Like when people talk?
Well, I mean, it's not like I can retaliate against anything Jaden said. He's immune. So like, no.
Yep. Fair enough. So are you saying if he weren't immune, dot?
Do the cameras want me to say it? Jaden, I'm coming for you, bitch.
Robbie, now that it's an individual game and anybody can be like, I'm coming for you, bitch, does that where do you go to find the people that you can trust when anybody can be an enemy?
I think that's a really interesting question, especially considering the history we've all had together, like with the tribe swap not being that big of a shakeup. Like Chartreuse stayed together through so much shit right in the beginning, and it's probably safe to say that they would want to stay together because they have so much trust built. I mean, they've been through so many tribals. However, like, we're merged now. Like, we should be mingling. We should be chatting. It's a whole new game. Like, yes, we have our OG tribes, but guess what? We are playing for ourselves at this point. It's just interesting to see who's willing to break those boundaries and who perceives those groups still as strong and when they'll kind of start to dissipate, because they will at some point, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Storm, we had during a previous tribal, we talked a little bit about like loyalty or loosey-goosiness in talking to people. Where are you feeling now that we've merged? Where are you on this staying loyal to the people from before and then also meeting new people?
At this point in the game, I wouldn't say it's meeting anyone new, in part because it is All-Stars. So like, we're pretty familiar with each other, if not like directly, indirectly, where somebody is somebody's friend. I'm still categorically loyal. That's who I am. However, the loyalty is not simply determined by teams the way that Robbie was just saying. That's why I was like, preach.
Yeah, interesting. Yael, in the challenge, you were one of the people who got the least, one of the lowest scores. Are you worried that people who know this game inside and out from watching the TV show might have a leg up?
They just did, but in my experience, most of the challenges have not. I have still somehow never seen an episode of Survivor, but in my experience, the challenges are not usually Survivor based.
Uh-huh.
So I'm hoping they'll circle back.
Yeah. Biba, what do you think it is about this game that even people who have never seen the show before, have never played before, can still do very well?
I think it's like even more about like knowing the show is about knowing how to build good alliances and also knowing how to judge them. I think like you need to be able to judge who's on your side and who isn't. And I think that's the hard part, like knowing whether or not someone will betray you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like the hard part.
Yeah. Jessica, have you found any ways to figure out, yes, this person, I may trust them today, but maybe not in sessions down the line?
I think sometimes you can sort of throw information out there and see if you kind of hear it back from other sources, if that makes sense. And sometimes people will be willing to volunteer information. So those sorts of things can give you a sense, at least, of like what level of honesty you can expect and what sort of information people are willing to offer.
Sure. Sam, when you're finding that your potential alliance members are offering you information, how do you know what steps can you take to find out if it's true or not?
What is truth,
Amen.
Ethan? It's a
Amen.
question that philosophers have asked for centuries. And there's your side of the story, there's their side of the story, and there's what actually happened, right? I don't think people know fuck all about anything. And so you have to like work on the information that you have. And so you kind of have to trust people to start out with, but you just gotta roll with it, I guess. There is no way to know truth in this game.
Mm-hmm. Kenter, you came in second place in the challenge. Are you worried that your display of knowledge of this game TV show has put somewhat of a target on your back?
You know, I think that there are a lot of people who know the game well, and I think that a lot of the things you can benefit from knowing Survivor like only get you so far. Knowing what a purple Kelly is isn't necessarily going to, help you strategize better in the game, but I think that there are a lot of people who have a strong baseline understanding.
Parker, are you finding that people are, especially after this challenge, now sort of categorizing people in terms of who is a Survivor superfan and who isn't?
Ethan, I'm so glad you asked me a question. Thank you so much. I didn't know if you would.
I would.
No, I don't think so. That's all I have to say. I don't think anyone cares.
Fair enough. No. Fair enough. And Lena, do you find the same thing? People are saying that watching the show and having knowledge of the game doesn't necessarily help you as a player. Are you finding the same thing?
I think that what's important to understand about the show is that a lot of people have different sets of morals and beliefs, because some people will hold those till their dying day, and some people are saying it's $1 million. I'm gonna I'm gonna swear on my kid, I'm gonna swear on my wife or whoever. So I think at least like watching a couple of seasons, I kind of like got to see what people do, how they make those decisions, how it impacts other people. You don't have to be a super fan to know what you're doing, but I think it just helps to kind of know the name of the game, and that comes in various shapes and sizes.
For sure. All right. Somebody will become the first member of our jury momentarily, and it won't be Jaden.
Killian. Just playing up for the cameras? Really? Because I have it on authority that you were going to write my name down tonight if I didn't win an immunity. So yeah, I'm voting for you, Killian. Bye-bye.
I would like to vote for Killian.
It's still slow for Sam, as I said before. That remained consistent. You can put me back.
I'm voting for this person because I have distrusted them since the beginning of this game. And so I'm going to use my minority voice and vote for Kenter.
I'm going to have to vote Sam. Sam, I know you want me to vote Kenter. I'll get him out soon. I'll get him out very soon, but I have to vote you. Sorry, Sam. I love you.
I heard you were coming for me, Killian. You think you've got me wrapped around your finger?
Killian, you should have treated people with kindness and not use them as numbers. Okay, this is just as much as a social game as is a strategic game, and you didn't make anyone feel like your friend. And guess what? I'm gonna show you how to make people feel like a friend and use them as numbers.
Okay, Killian. Hashtag Team Parker.
I'm gonna vote for Sam. When we merged tribes, she really didn't give an opening for me and Kenter to like try to really like form an alliance there. So I think like after we merged, it only made sense that we voted for her now.
I'm gonna vote for Sam, the easiest person to vote out.
All right, everybody. If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you would like to play it, now would be the time to do so.
I would like to play my immunity idol, Ethan.
Okay. Sam, I don't think you have an immunity idol.
I was really hoping that would work, but
so gassed.
It is now officially confirmed that Sam does not have an immunity idol, if anybody wants to do with that information. I will read the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and the person voted out will be asked to leave the Zoom call immediately and join the jury. All right, here we go. First vote, Killian. Second vote, Sam. Third vote, Kenter. Fourth vote, Killian. Fifth vote, Sam. Sixth vote, Killian. Seventh vote, Sam. 3 votes Sam, 3 votes Killian. Eighth vote, Killian. Ninth vote, Sam. 4 votes Sam, 4 votes Killian. 10th vote, Killian. The first member of our jury.
What?
Killian. Killian, I'm so sorry.
Yay! Oh my God, that's so cool. Yay. Oh my God. I won. I got first. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It means so much. That's it. That's all I have to say. See you, everyone. Bye.
Bye,
Pleasure
Killian.
doing business with ya.
See you in a sec. Wow, that was like pulling teeth.
I need an emotional break. If
Yeah,
that's
I would like a break, please.
It's okay.
We'll come back at 8:55 Eastern.
Okay.
We'll digest.
Jeez. Fuck. Oh my god. Bruh. I'm gonna get some water.
You guys are so fucking shady. No one told me. So rude.
Yeah, no, that I'm shook
Well,
about
congrats. Anyways.
turn of events that just occurred.
I have so much anxiety, and this is 95% of it, because I'm like an adult with like adult problems, and my anxiety doesn't have time for that. So like, that was great. And I made it to the jury, so now I just get to hang. Good plan. I want to know who made it, because I want to celebrate this person. I want to overhead snap in their corner. I want to I don't know, watch a movie they recommended me. That was cool. That was exciting. I'm happy that happened.
That bitches really killed my mother. Like, they really sat up and committed actual matricide against me personally. I feel like it was racially motivated. I am ready to fight.
I'm shocked. Literally, I'm shocked. I had no idea they were voting Killian. Nobody told me because they knew we were friends. So I'm shocked.
God, holy fuck. Ethan, I am so glad that I'm not intoxicated right now because I am so shook. I have literally never been this shocked during any tribal council.
That was crazy. My heart pounded so hard and so fast. But at this point, it's done. It went well. It went crazy. And I am trying to mend some bridges and hope that they don't all crash and burn. But I think it was successful.
We're going to get started with our next challenge if everybody's ready. For this challenge, you are going to want to stand up and be in a place where movement is easy. You are going to be finding an object in your room, in your house, wherever you are, in your closet, I don't know. I'm going to say for the first round, the first 5 people to bring back an object that is red. This is an example, this isn't real. We'll move on to the next round. Alrighty, my final 10. Here we go. The first 5 people to show on camera an object that is round or spherical, we'll move on to the next round. Circular or spherical. 1, 2. Okay, we had Jaden, Robbie, Biba, Lena, and Parker. Jaden, Robbie, Biba, Lena, and Parker are moving on to the next round. The first 4 people to come back with an object that can fit inside of your hand. Let me see it disappear in your hand. See it disappear in your hand. Yep. Parker, Robbie, Jaden, and Biba are moving on. Lena is out of here. The first 3 people will be moving on. The first 3 people to bring back an object that is larger than your head. I need to see it. Yep, Robbie's good. Biba and Parker. Sorry, Jaden. Sorry, Jaden. I would also say arguably not larger than your head. Taller, maybe, but not larger. All right, Robbie, Biba, Parker. The first 2 people to bring me something that can light up in any way. Biba was last, so sorry.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I got you, Robbie.
Robbie.
I thought it was faster. Yikes! All right. Good luck.
I've always wanted to win a challenge.
Wait, Parker, you're not even at your own home. How are you finding shit?
I'm at my home, but it's just my sister's belongings.
All right. Here we go. The first person to bring back an object that has a right angle on it will be immune. It was Robbie. By a hair.
Thank you, Robbie.
By a hair.
The case of a messy desk.
Well, I was Robbie, so that sucks.
Congratulations, Robbie. You are immune for our second tribal council this evening. How do you feel?
I feel fucking glorious. That shit was chaotic last time, so give me that necklace, baby. This night cannot have gone any better for Mr. Robbie. He got blindsided Killian, and no one thinks that I was the charge of it. But guess what? I kind of had a big part in it. And then he wins immunity, and he doesn't have to play his idol at all. Am I keeping up with the pack, even though I was only like on this with one person from my original season, Lena? I think I am. I want to get Jessica out. I think she's the biggest threat next. I don't trust a word she says. I think she's calculated in her responses and her questions. And I think everything, she gets, she gives the information to other people. Things are going to start intermingling. And that was my goal. We're merged. Shit is hitting the fan. We are one tornado now. And I am just so happy during this tornado. I am in the eye of the storm, sitting pretty, looking pretty, feeling great. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Okay. I don't really know what's going on at all anymore. I mean, that challenge aside, I'm still reeling from the last tribal council because I was sure I was going home and it was pretty close, but to see Killian go home, who was someone that I was allied with and I knew was gunning for me, was rough. It's a weird feeling to know that I can trust people, but not necessarily trust what they say to me. I am really curious to see what happens. I hope my name's not on the chopping block again, and I hope I get a chance to get some solid footing.
I'm scrambled, honestly. The names that have been thrown around are Sam, Kenter, and Jaden. Kinda feel all out of sorts now. I don't know what to do.
Really don't want to vote out Jessica because then Biba, who I've been trying to work to regain her trust, will completely not trust me. I really want to push for Sam, but not too hard.
Please welcome Killian back to Tribal Council. All right, first things first, Robbie, congratulations on winning immunity. How does it feel?
It feels really nice. It was so chaotic, like I said last time, so it's just so reassuring to be here and breathe. But it's just one tribal, so I'm only safe for one. So still the decisions I make during this tribal last and stay with me to the next one. So yeah, I'm safe tonight, but that doesn't mean there's no pressure for me,
Jessica, are you also feeling that you're taking this tribal to tribal, or are you feeling like there's a steady stream ahead of me?
Let me say that I feel a little less certain than I did at the beginning of the night. I do feel like there's still things are starting to coalesce again. It felt like things had scrambled and now they're coming back into order.
Storm, are you also feeling like things are coming into order? Are you feeling like there's a solid plan going into this vote?
Bitch, I'm shook like a McFlurry. I'm not sure of a damn thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Biba, your body language is telling me that you are also shook like a McFlurry. How are you feeling right now?
Well, me, Jessica, and Storm were like the three blind mice. We had no idea what was happening, and now we're like, ah! Well, I'm Killian, poor girl, but we're moving forward after that.
Sam, what does that do to the tribe dynamic when you have a plan happen where some people are left out? Does it make it so that they automatically can't trust you now?
Well, speaking of someone who is also left out of what happened last tribal, I don't know. I think there's trusting what people say, and then there's like trusting that no matter what people say, that they have your best interest in mind, and that maybe they know better than you sometimes. So, I don't want to give my whole long-winded truth speech again, and trust speech is the same shit. But I think it changes the dynamic in that, like, we know that people are capable of something like that now, right? But I don't think it changes a whole lot about gameplay, really, if you've been playing smart from the beginning.
Lena, Sam says it's interesting to see that people are capable of doing that. It sounds almost as if the vote to get Killian off felt like to some people that you literally murdered somebody. Is that how you're feeling as well?
So no, and I feel bad for saying that, but I had my reasons for wanting to be a part of that vote. That's how I felt when we had to vote Michael out. That one really hurt just because we were all so close at that point. But at this point in the game, like every conversation I was being a part of just reminded me that like I'm only a number and I'm not going to be the final four. I'm not going to be your final two. So I just, for my own sake, I was like, I need to not just be a pawn. So
Parker, as we've been talking, Killian has been reacting, as is his right. How does that change the dynamic of tribal council once you know that jury members are now observing you? Does it change how you present yourself in tribal council once jury members start to come into the mix, or are you feeling like it's still the same game?
I mean, right now I still feel the same. I definitely, because Killian was just in the game. Like, I feel like maybe in a few rounds when it's like, whoa, we haven't played with Killian in a while. Like, I want to make a good impression. Like, I don't know. I feel the same.
Yeah, before the challenge, you were talking about how you were in quite an unfortunate circumstance going into the challenge to put you in a disadvantage. Are you worried that they are going to now pick on you like you kind of did with Billy and the Wi-Fi?
I think about half of us were disadvantaged in the challenge before, not knowing a lot of survivor info. So I think people are being pretty sympathetic about challenge difficulties tonight.
Jaden, you won last immunity. Did you think that you needed this immunity? How are you feeling not having immunity this time?
You would always obviously love to have immunity. Obviously, after last vote, things have changed a lot. I think that people have realized some people are lying to them. So I think a lot of people's ideas of what they want to do moving forward is up in the air, which is dangerous for anybody. So I would love to have immunity, but I am trustful in the people that I've spoken with, and it's a dangerous thing to say that I think I'm safe tonight, but I think I'm safe tonight.
Okay. Well, we will see what happens. Unless anybody has anything they would like to say before we get to the vote, now would be your time to do so. Okay. We'll get to the vote. I'll bring you all in one by one into the voting booth. We'll see who becomes the second member of our jury, joining Killian on Ponderosa. See you soon. Survivor Lingo.
This has been quite a night. I convinced people in my alliance to go for Sam, and Sam has voted for me and wanted to vote for me for a while, so.
Fucking hot diggity dog. Mo,
You think that we have your back, but we don't. I didn't want to vote for you. I wanted to vote Jessica, but the other people in my alliance were pushing too hard.
I am voting Sam.
I'm voting for this person because I am threatened by them. They've sort of like told me half-truths throughout the game, and I'm hearing from other people that this is kind of a common theme. And so the person that I am voting for is Jessica.
I vote Jessica.
I want to vote Jessica, but she's now a shield for me, so I am going to vote out.
I heard that Parker may vote for me. So, just to make sure that that does not vote me out, I'm gonna vote for Parker.
I'm gonna vote for Sam again.
I messaged Sam before the season even started, and I only ever heard back from her when we merged.
I will read the votes, but before I do, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and they would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I will read the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final, and the person voted out becomes the second member of the jury, joining Killian. Here we go. First vote, Sam. Second vote, Parker. Third vote, Jessica. One vote Sam, one vote Parker, one vote Jessica. Fourth vote, Sam. Fifth vote, Jessica. 2 votes Sam, 2 votes Jessica, 1 vote Parker. Sixth vote, Sam. Seventh vote, Sam, the second member of our jury. And Sam, I will move you out of here unless you have something to say.
Played the gag too early. I should have just waited the second tribal. But can you edit it so that it came before this one instead? This sucks. Kind of knew it was going to happen tonight. I underestimated a little bit and then had some residual hope left over, but that didn't really take me that far, I guess. I think I'm for sure rooting for Parker right now. She's playing the game amazingly, and she managed to do so while like having my back the entire time. So Parker, barring anything fucking insane, you have my vote once we get down to the wire.